All right, here's 7 skills that I wish I knew when I was starting out. I've learned these over the past couple of years, and it's helped me get unlimited sales and clients. And this isn't some basic bologna sandwiches where I'm just gonna talk about learn marketing. What does that even mean? What's the skill of marketing? How does that even apply? I'm gonna show you actual applicable skills that you can use and give you the steps to actually learning those skills. If you're not willing to do that and put in the work, then just click off right now. This one is probably the most important one. I have made so much money doing this. Stealing ideas. Almost every good idea I have ever had, I just stole from somebody else, and I'm literally not kidding at all. If you get good at stealing other people's ideas, you will print unlimited money. Everyone says like replicate before you iterate, but I'm saying you can literally replicate their idea verbatim or just take the best ideas from several people, apply it to your own thing, and you'll be able to grow a lot faster than anybody else if you do that. I'll give you an example. The only reason I'm in business right now and I do what I do is because I saw someone post on Facebook and they said, does anyone need help getting more appointments? And I saw 57 comments on the post. And it was a lot of comments for me. I was like, holy cow, these people are actually interested in this thing. What if I did that? I'm actually pretty good at getting appointments. What if I just started offering that to other people? I literally copied that post and pasted it myself and posted it into the exact same group. And I got my first couple clients from that post. One of my best scripts now that I use right now is from a guy that reached out to me. His name is Lucas James. Actually, I reached out to him. I had an automation that reached out to him, and I was like, hey, well, automation message, whatever. And he reached out saying, hey, me and you should team up. And I was like, that's actually a really good script. And so I took that from him. And now one of the best scripts is just, hey, are you open to a partnership? I just want to see blah, 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 blah. People are so responsive to that. I was watching a podcast of the guy that made Papa John's. Before they started Papa John's, what he did was he worked at every major pizza place and every minor pizza place in the local area and just tried to take everything from each store. So one store had garlic sauce and everybody loved that garlic sauce. And then one store, they had really efficient systems. And one store, what they did was they added a pepper, and they just took that idea, right? They'll add a pepper to every pizza, right? One place was adding sugar to the sauce, and everybody loved that. So they started doing that. He also worked at Wendy's and just learned about the quality of food, how to have higher quality standards. So they put all this together. They create Papa John's and put it inside of a bar. It starts outselling how much the bar made that week. They create a standalone store. It starts outselling all the other pizza joints in the local area. They grow and they grow and they grow, right? Taking the best ideas and applying them yourself. Another thing you can do is take ideas from completely different industries and apply them to yourself. So for example, in the software market, all the softwares before used to be a one-time purchase. You would purchase it one time and then you would have that software forever, right? But then Netflix comes along and creates a subscription, and it completely changes the game because everyone starts using Netflix. And so now everybody copies that. So they copy the software industry, and everyone starts doing that thing where they start doing a subscription-based model. Now that everything is a subscription, it's kind of becoming annoying where you have all these subscriptions, they charge you every month and you forget about them. And so this new thing comes along called AppSumo. AppSumo is a platform where all it is just you buy softwares at a one-time cost rather than paying per month. AppSumo has blown up and become $100 million platform just because they're doing what they used to do 20 years ago, right? And so in my mind, everyone in the agency space is doing these retainers, right? Selling a $1,500 monthly retainer. So I was like, well, what if I just did, I love AppSumo. I love buying from AppSumo because I hate the monthly purchases. So what if I just started selling agency services, but as a one-time purchase rather than a monthly retaining thing? And so I was able to apply that idea, started selling one-time services. I was able to make $10,000 my first week of just stealing AppSumo's idea. This kind of leads me to my second point, which is content hooking, trying to get people to engage with you and watch your content, right? In this economy, the more attention that you grab from other people, the right kind of attention, you'll be able to make more money that way, obviously. So if we can get people's attention as much as possible, then we will win. Now, the best way of content hooking or getting people interested in your ideas or watching your content or watching your videos, whatever it is just literally stealing other ideas. The best performing videos I have, I just stole the idea from someone else in a different industry. For example, my best performing video is I spent 1,000 days trying SMMA, and I was looking at Minecraft YouTubers randomly one day. I don't play Minecraft, I don't watch Minecraft YouTube videos, but just watching these videos, and there was one that was like a consistent. A lot of YouTubers do this where they say, I spent 1,000 days trying hardcore Minecraft. And there's so many YouTubers, and every single one of them, their top performing video is that I spent 1,000 days trying hardcore Minecraft. So I was like, how many years? Almost 3.5 years. I was like, oh, that's basically 1,000 days, right? What if I made a video called I spent 1,000 days trying SMMA? I made that video and it blew up. I just took an idea that worked in an adjacent industry and it worked for me, right? I also looked at other thumbnails that people were using. I just copied their thumbnails. Another example is I was able to grow 2 separate TikTok accounts to 20,000 followers. I'll give you the story behind this, right? I made a TikTok account when I was 17 years old. I was about to turn 18 and I was like, I'm going to try to become famous online because maybe that'll help me get out of my parents' basement. And so I quit my jobs trying to become an influencer, right? Where that comes to play is I was able to go viral several times times just taking other people's ideas or taking ideas from different mediums. So for example, I'm sure you might have heard the TikTok sound. It was a while ago, but it was some British guy saying, can we get this the same number of likes as comments? I want to kill myself, something like that. I don't know. That started with me, okay? Because what I did was I remember watching a video about the top 10 most disliked videos on YouTube. One of the most disliked videos on YouTube was a video of a guy saying, can we make this video the same amount of likes as dislikes? And so I was like, okay, well, if he was able to get that many, almost the same amount of likes as dislikes, and it was one of the most liked videos and the most disliked videos on the platform. And the way TikTok works is that the more likes and just more engagement that you get on the platform, the more people view it, right? So it's like, if I can get people to do likes and comments, keep them the exact same, then the more people comment, the more people like, the more people like, and it would just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. So I did that. It got 50,000 likes. I was like, holy cow, that worked amazing. And then other people started copying me, and then that sound went viral, right? Another idea, I just saw a guy, he had his camera pointed at his screen, and he was buying AirPods on like the Apple website, and he said, I'm actually going to buy 2 pair of AirPods. The second pair I'm just going to give away to one of you guys. So just follow me and comment on this video, and I will give you a pair of AirPods, whatever, right? I was like, that was genius. It had hundreds of thousands of likes. So I took that, and I said, I had my sister's pair of AirPods. I took it, and I just said, I just wrote on this piece of paper what I had for breakfast this morning. If anyone can guess what I had for breakfast this morning, I will give you a pair of AirPods. All you have to do is like this post, comment as many times as you want to, guess as many times as you want to, and follow me. I got 14,000 followers within like 3 hours. For some reason, I got embarrassed on the account, and I deleted that account, right? Then COVID hits. I am in Maine, and I'm like, let me just try to start a TikTok account again, see if I can get this to grow again. So I started another TikTok account. I made one TikTok that was a dud. The second TikTok, I was like, what's a good idea? I saw the video a couple of years ago of a guy reviewing a $2,000 HDMI cable, and he said, you should read the comments on this HDMI cable or the reviews on it because they're really good, right? So I was like, what if I try that? So I read the reviews on this HDMI cable, turned it into a TikTok, and then I said at the end of the video, I said, hey, if I get 100,000 likes on this video, I will buy this HDMI cable. I got like 400,000 likes on that video, and the company actually sent me some free HDMI cables. It wasn't the $2,000 one, but they sent me a couple HDMI cables that were worth hundreds of dollars, which was crazy to me. All of that just because I took somebody else's idea. And that's just almost all mediums, almost all popular people right now are just taking other ideas, right? So podcasts are just that. They're just people reading a news article and then giving their take on that news article. And they're getting millions of views just talking about a news article they read on the New York Times. So this person put all that effort in, did all this journalism, and put it on the New York Times, and you're just ripping that and turning it into a podcast and making all the money. So that's one of the biggest life hacks. If you can just take other ideas of other businesses, also other content ideas, and apply them to yourself, that is the biggest life hack. You can get a ton of clients just doing that. Number 3 is just not caring what people think. I know it sounds like some philosophical thing, but it actually is something that I struggled with when I was starting out. I always said to myself, I don't know if I want to be known as blank, right? And so I was like, well, I thought that I could only pick one thing, and I could only be known for that one thing forever. So if I try to do movies, like I was trying to become a videographer or a cinematographer, make movies, I was like, if I do that, that's all I can do. I can only be that. Or if I do business, that's all I can do. I can only be that. So I don't want to put myself out there because I don't know if that was going to be my identity forever. And also, I grew up in a household where we kind of made fun of each other all the time, and I think that's a healthy, good thing. But I was like, well, I don't want to post something that's kind of embarrassing. I don't want to, I don't want to be that guy or that, just influencer guru type thing. I don't really want to do that. Because what if my mom sees my videos, right? What if my dad sees my videos? What if my siblings see my videos? And what are they going to think about that? What are my friends going to think about that? What if I go to church and people at my church are like, oh, Carson, I saw that video of you, whatever. But then I realized no one cares. Literally nobody cares. And people will say that. People are like, oh, Carson, I saw that video. That was funny. Haha. Or they'll make fun of that thing that I made, whatever. But what I realize is that nobody cares about me. People, obviously your mom cares about you, your dad cares about you, but they do not wake up in the morning thinking, what does Carson want today? They're thinking about what do they have to do, right? They're thinking about their idea, their agenda, right? So if no one really does care about you, why would it matter if we're posting something that's innocent, that's just trying to improve the world, trying to help other people? Why would I care about that, right? And so my desire to make the videos or trying to grow or trying to help people was greater than the fear that I felt of what my family would think or what people at church would think. And I think this also affected my family members. Like my sister posted a TikTok one time and it got hundreds of thousands of likes, I think. And it was some conspiracy theory she had. It was something that was funny, but cool, whatever. And she took it down. I think she took it down. And I don't know why she took it down, but I'm thinking maybe it's all what people thought about it or the comments that people were leaving on it. The thing is, I never even watched it. That's how much, I love my sister. I care about her. But it was like, I didn't even care enough to watch our TikTok that went viral or whatever. Anyways, do not care about what other people think. Your impact could possibly affect hundreds, thousands, if not millions of people. And so why would you care about the opinion of 10 people when you could be affecting millions? Number 4 is being able to call out BS. And by BS, I mean bologna sandwiches. When I started, I was trying to find my purpose in life, just trying to figure out what I want to do. Do I want to do business? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? I watched all these gurus and what they were doing. And a lot of them were talking about millionaire habits. What habits do you need to learn to become a millionaire? All that jazz, right? And these videos are extremely misleading because they say, if you just apply these habits, you will become a millionaire, which is obviously not the case. I would wake up at 5:30 every morning. I would drink my protein shake. I would go to the gym. I would come home. I would meditate. I would pray. I would look at my vision board. I would think about what am I going to be when I grow up, whatever, just all that stuff. I did all of it. I took cold showers, everything that you could possibly do. All the millionaire habits that you see online, I did all of them. None of them worked, right? I did that for like 6 months, 8 months straight, just try to be as solid as I could. And I got nothing from it. My routine became so long. It was like 6 a.m. to like 10 a.m. 4-hour routine that will help me become a millionaire. Obviously, it helped me. It made me be a little more focused, a little more disciplined. But I felt really good after doing the morning routine. But I was like, this is not, I could have done so much within this 4 hours, right? But after that morning routine, I was like, now what do I do, right? What do I do from here? How do I actually, where does the money come from? Where do I get the $1 million? I eventually realized that this is not going to help me make any money. So I have to really focus on how do I actually get clients. And so now I focus all my energy on what's actually going to help me. It doesn't matter about waking up early in the morning and doing all these random weird things that you have to do, meditating, whatever. That does not matter. How does that apply to you actually doing a sales call, you actually sending out cold outreach messages, or you actually getting in front of people? And those are the things that are actually going to convert into real sales, is doing those numbers. Not the amount of minutes that you meditate does not correlate with how much money you get. How many people you get in front of, how many people you market to does directly correlate. So why don't I just do that task? How much chicken and broccoli I ate, bro, just trying to, trying to optimize my health performance when I had no money to begin with. Why was I optimize? Like, I would understand now trying to optimize, now trying to hire a personal chef to be able to cook for me, or like I was thinking about hiring a driver, because like if I could, if I'm driving 2 hours or 4 hours in a week and I hired a driver to do that for me, I could spend that for, now I can understand that. But back then, why would I do any of that, right? It did not make any sense. And if you've ever, all these people talk about, millionaires do this, billionaires do this. If you've ever read anything about Elon Musk, he literally put a tweet out a couple months ago, which was, I eat donuts every morning. It's like, he does not care about his health at all. He takes warm showers. He does not take cold showers. And like, why am I sitting here taking a cold shower when the richest man on the planet, who is the model of success, is saying, I just took a hot shower today. What are you talking about? The thing is, we get fed a ton of lies every single day about how you actually achieve success. Do not listen to that. Just focus on what's actually going to move the needle. I have a whole free course in the description on how do I actually book sales calls. Everything that I did to book sales calls. And sales calls get me more sales, right? So if I want to make money, I should get more sales calls. So do those things, not the meditation, not the mindset stuff. Obviously, again, that can help, but it's not going to move the needle. Number 5 is self-aggrandizement. Nobody really wants to do this. No one really understands this, but it's probably one of the most crucial things within any business. I am the best at cold outreach. I truly believe that I am the best. Like nobody else is better than me. No one else is coming up with the ideas I come up with. No one has done more studying than I have within this industry. And I truly have the results to show that I am the best at this, right? People don't want to brag or tell people I'm the best, or you should follow me, or you should listen to me, because everyone's pretty humble, right? And I think that's all our default state, and we're kind of trained by media and everything. I'm not like one of those guys, conspiracy theorists, but we are kind of trained to be the nice guy, right? We don't want, if we're winning in a competition and we're winning bad, right? We're so above, like let's just say I'm playing basketball with a 6-year-old girl, like I can destroy that 6-year-old girl, but I'll try to let her hoop or whatever. I won't block her as hard as whatever, but when we're humble, we're not going to really win as much, The money game is a cutthroat industry, and everyone's really competing with everybody else. And so are you going to believe the guy that says, I think this might work, and I think this will work really well for you, and I'm a pretty good person, I'm pretty good at this? Or would you believe the guy that says, I'm the best in the world at this, I know for a fact that this is going to work for you, and if it doesn't work for you, I will pay you $10,000 because that's how certain I am? So are you going to buy from the guy who thinks that they might be able to help you, or the guy that knows for a fact that he's done this hundreds of times before and that he can help you too, right? So we want to self-aggrandize, make ourselves larger than life, try to make ourselves look like we are the best things in sliced bread, right? Now, I kind of told this story before. I made a video about how to become the wizard, how to become the expert, or what experts don't tell you. But I was watching something from Dan Kennedy, and he was saying that the best chiropractors that he's ever seen, or that have adjusted him, the best ones have always been the ones that make the least amount of money. And the worst chiropractors are usually the ones that make the most amount of money, because the worst chiropractors are focused on making themselves look the best, and the best chiropractors are focused on actually being the best at this, but they're not very good at the marketing side of things, right? So if you're looking for a chiropractor, do not pick the first one on Google. So I heard this, I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. And then I went to this comedy show, right? This comedy show that's right down the street from me. It was this guy named Aaron Berg or something like that, some Jewish guy. It was short. He looked literally like Joe Rogan, that was like on roids and also shorter, right? He was like 5'2". But I was crying at the end of it. It was so funny. But he's playing to a crowd of 30 people. The next week I go back again. Another guy, extremely funny. And he was playing to a crowd, again, of 30 people. And I walk up to him after the show and I talk to him. I say, hey, man, why aren't you more popular? Do you ever try to focus on maybe trying to do marketing or trying to make yourself known, whatever? And he says, you know what? The comedians out here that are really big, you look at them and they're good. They're good with 7 minutes of material. They'll try to get that 7 minutes down and make it sound really good. And then they'll just market themselves. I can be up there for an hour and a half of material. That's hard work. And I just try to focus on being the best comedian that I can. And yet, I'm sitting here with crowds of 30 people just trying to make a living. I was like, man, that is actually really true. So people that just try to convince everyone else that they are the best, they win. Even if they're not right, they still win. Whoever's the loudest voice usually just wins. And so we just want to profess how good we are, even if you're not good, even if you don't think you're good. You're always going to have imposter syndrome, and so everyone has it. So the only thing you can do is get over it faster than the next guy. Because if the next guy gets over it faster than you, then he's going to win, right? If I have so many competitors and they're all like, oh, I have the best results, and look at me, look at what we're doing, we're making millions of dollars. If I said that as much as they did, I probably would be where they are. And I've tried to focus on the product and how do we actually get better results, rather than trying to self-aggrandize myself, which is honestly a mistake on my part. I should really just be focusing on how do I make myself look better. Let me just go sit on a beach and talk about how successful I am, and then I'll probably get more buyers that way. There's many ways of doing this. You can just make YouTube videos on how good your service is. You can post videos on TikTok or Instagram showing your Lamborghini, whatever, or even just renting one. Even though people, it looks fake, or this is fake Rolexes, anything like that. The thing is, even if it is fake, people still buy into it, and they will still purchase because they think that you're the expert and they are not the expert, and they're going to go with the guy who they think has the most money or has the best success because he's probably better than anybody else. But the real thing is that the person that looks like they're the most successful usually isn't. Now, there's some influencers that'll say it actually is about the quality of the content and actually giving real value to people, which I think is true. I think you actually have to give real value to people, but it really is not that hard to give real. A lot of people only know the surface level things, and so if you just know slightly above the surface, then people will perceive that as real value to them. Even if it's something that's so far, even if you're starting a fake, there's people that have done this. There's documentaries of people that start a fake cult and people just believe them. So even if it's just something off the wall that's not even real, people will still believe it as long as you profess that I'm the perfect one, right? I'm the expert. That's just the way you have to win in this new economy. Number 6, this is the biggest life hack ever. It is just giving. When I was down on my luck, I had $1,000 in my DoorDash bank account. I was doing DoorDash back to back, right? They give you a bank account that you can use to buy and sell whatever. And I had $1,000. That $1,000 really wasn't mine because I owed about $1,800 on a credit card. And so I was really negative $800, right? And I remember someone saying, Carson, I don't really think you're giving everything to God. I really don't think that you're putting in your all, right? And for some reason, I got really offended by that. I was extremely competitive for some reason. And I was like, I'm going to show you that I have given everything that I possibly could give. And so I took that $1,000 and I gave all of it to my church. And I had literally 10 cents left in this DoorDash bank account. And again, I'm negative $1,800 on this credit card. I'm like, God, I just gave you everything I have. That's it, right? If I fail, it's your name that's on the line, not mine, right? Because I just gave it to you, right? So if I fail, so I decided to stop doing DoorDash that week because I was not going to be able to get myself out of the hole that I dug myself in by doing DoorDash. And so I was like, let me just try to start business again. That week, I made $5,000 in my business. Over the next 2 weeks, I made $10,000. The next month, I made another $10,000. Someone calls me and says, hey, Carson, can you come down to Florida? I need you to make a video for me. I will pay you $10,000 to come down here for 2 weeks. A 2-week vacation for $10,000, that sounds amazing. Everything started growing and growing and growing from there. I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for that catalyst, right? Me starting there by giving. Now, this is a personal thing. I'm Christian, but this is not a religious thing at all. Bill Gates convinced Warren Buffett to start giving. Warren Buffett was able to grow exponentially after the fact that he was giving a ton. And obviously he was already a billionaire at the time, but other people, I remember watching a video a long time ago of Tai Lopez, right? We all know is a Lamborghini guy. And he was saying that every time he gives in his business, he'll get 20% back more than what he gave. And they will measure it. They got 20% more from the giving that they gave the previous month. And even Dan Kennedy, the most logical person, the most scientific driven person, says this, that if you just start giving, it'll come back to you and you won't even know how it came. It'll just be like magic to you. That's how he explains it. And he explains it that you should be able to give 10%. And if you give 10%, you'll get so much back. And it's not even about the amount. Just the more you give, the more you will get back. And you can do this in several different ways. I do this a lot with just giving a very good tip. Giving a gift to somebody. I have a friend that just got into a new apartment, maybe giving them a housewarming gift, just trying any way that you possibly can to give to people, giving to a charity, giving to an orphanage, giving to a church, whatever you have to do. My bare minimum is the 10%. I always give the 10%. And so I try to go above and beyond that. And I literally just try to find little ways of giving. I remember some weeks I would give in certain ways just because we would have a bad week, right? And obviously I always give that 10%, but we'd have a bad week and I'd be like, usually when you have a bad week or you don't make a lot of money that week, you're like, I don't know if I want to bubble, And I was like, I know in this scenario where I didn't make a lot of money this week, I probably should give even more because that means next week's probably going to be better. And so I would give that week, and the next week, guess what? It would be a lot better. And this also applies just to business as a whole or life as a whole. Life is all just about giving. The only reason Jeff Bezos is a billionaire is because we all collectively gave money to Jeff Bezos, and he started from nothing too, right? He created Amazon from scratch, and so we all, as a collective, made him a billionaire. So how are we upset at him for becoming a billionaire when we're the ones that gave it to him? Honestly, the poorest and laziest people that I see, they're just the biggest consumers, right? They just take and they take and they take from the world, right? In every single facet. But the richest people that I know, they just give and give and give in every single way. So they have their business that gives to people. I'm trying to create this video to give to you, give something of value to you, right? And if you're poor, you're living in a mindset of, I need to take more. You can't take from me because I need mine and I can't give to you. I know so many, there's so many situations where I see where someone saying, oh, I'm going to buy a meal for my mom, but my mom has to pay me back for this meal. I'm like, what, dude, your mom gave you life, right? You're going to make her pay you back for a $10 meal. And I used to be that. I used to do that. My sister needs to pay me back for this because you took the gas money from it, whatever, And so when you're in that environment, every dollar counts. You're trying to get dollars from everybody. But then when you get into a mindset where you're living in abundance, it does not matter. The more you give, it will come back to you if you just give in every single way. Your whole life is just going to be giving. That's it. It's not going to get any better. It's not going to be any easier. It should just be giving as much as you possibly can, because that's all that matters. If you want fulfillment, feel like you have purpose in your life, just start giving to people, give to God, give in every single way, give in your business, give value to people, give money, give time, give energy. Everything you do will be giving. If you do a lot more giving and a lot less consuming, you won't have to worry about really the small things. The seventh thing is just start taking action and stop consuming. The more we consume, the more we're not giving. I remember when I was starting out, just reading a book, and I would just read a book and then play a video game while I'm listening to the book, right? And I think that's productive. I think it's okay to consume. It's okay to learn new things, but I thought that was productive day, was just playing Fortnite and reading a book or listening to a book. I remember hearing Dan Kennedy saying the people that are 8 figures plus, really it becomes a game of how much can you suffer, how much can you work. The harder you're willing to work and the more you're willing to suffer, the more money you will make. And it's actually like real tangible work, not playing Fortnite while reading a book. The best thing you can possibly do is just start doing something, even if you do it badly, right? We all have really good ideas. I'm sure you've all seen something where you're like, oh, I thought of that first, I've had so many video ideas that I thought were going to crush, and then I see on the trending tab that YouTube video idea. I'm like, dang it, dude. They took that idea from me. But I'm like, they didn't take that idea. The ideas are abundant. The ideas are flowing. Everybody will get, different ideas. If you do not act on your idea, somebody else will take it from you. So if you aren't going to take action and you aren't going to start giving, then someone's going to do it for you, and they're going to beat you every single time. So you can either have fun being a loser or actually just start doing something. And a lot of times you might think, well, I don't know what to do. I was in that place for so long. I don't know what to do. The only thing you should be doing is just focusing on what's actually going to move the needle. Like I said before, what's the task I need to do? What's the repeatable task I can do that will bring me more clients? How do I do that task? Just keep repeating that task and more clients will come in. So stop being lazy. Don't consume, create. Don't take, start giving. And if you start doing that, people will give to you and you'll out-earn everybody. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you want a consistent system for getting 120 sales calls per month, you can book a call with my team below. Thank you for watching. I will talk to you soon.